Two major factors affecting float adjustment. Why does the number of visible meshes keep increasing while fishing? Whether the float adjustment is accurate definitely affects the catch, especially in waters with poor fish resources, which is currently the norm for casual wild fishing. However, float adjustment can only be as precise as possible because it involves balancing gravity, buoyancy, and the supporting force from the bottom. The weight of the bait changes as it absorbs water and scatters. The fishing line and float undergo buoyancy changes due to water absorption and expansion. Plus, the bottom of wild fishing spots is uneven. Thus, float adjustment can only achieve relative accuracy. Water depth for float adjustment. Before adjusting the float, you need to determine the water depth, which then dictates the depth for float adjustment, also called the mid-water depth. The closer this mid-water depth is to the actual fishing depth, the more accurate the float adjustment will be. This is because the fishing line has weight. Although it is light, the buoyancy of the float tip is equally small, so changes in line length significantly affect the number of visible meshes. Generally, after roughly finding the bottom, lower the float seat by 1.5 to 2 times the length of the subline and adjust the float at this depth. This method is more accurate and makes it easier to find the bottom after adjustment. But how exactly does the depth of adjustment impact the result? For example, if the water depth at your fishing spot is 6 meters, but you adjust the float at 2 meters, then when you lift the float seat to around 5 meters without bait, the original 6 meshes may drop to 4 or even fewer. With thicker lines, there might be no meshes visible at all. This is why the adjustment depth cannot be arbitrary, it must be close to the actual fishing depth at your spot. Having no visible meshes before finding the bottom is an extreme case, but the adjusted meshes will definitely change as the water line lengthens. If you weighed your bait to achieve a specific state, all calculations will be off. You might think you're adjusting 6 to fish 2, but in reality, it could be adjusting 2 to fish 2. Not knowing the underwater state of your rig makes it very troublesome to change bait or sublines. 2 factors related to the fishing rig. Most components of the fishing rig are submerged, with both gravity and buoyancy. Changes in the rig's weight or buoyancy can also cause inaccurate float adjustment. Thus, the correct process is, roughly find the bottom, determine a suitable mid-water depth, adjust the float to find the bottom, fine-tune based on bites, and after fishing for a while, check the mesh changes in mid-water and re-fine-tune. This ensures accuracy. Fishing lines absorb water, known as size expansion, especially low-quality lines. Water absorption alters both their gravity and buoyancy. If you notice the meshes getting lower over time, or even the float tip disappearing, it's likely due to line water absorption. Similarly, if the float absorbs water, its weight increases and buoyancy decreases, also lowering the visible meshes. Is it possible for the meshes to increase while fishing? Yes, and it's not uncommon. After adjustment, gravity, buoyancy, and supporting force are balanced. If the rig touches the bottom more heavily, e.g., from one bait touching the bottom to both lying flat, the meshes will increase. This is often due to an uneven bottom and has little impact on fishing. Increased buoyancy can also cause meshes to rise. For example, floats may expand after sun exposure, especially reed or plastic floats in hot summer and autumn. These materials have poor stability and high thermal expansion coefficients. Another possibility is low-quality sublines. Sublines have some elasticity to reduce breakage and improve fish friendliness, but poor quality ones may stretch permanently after catching large fish, leading to increased visible meshes. It's always advisable to keep float adjustment as accurate as possible, otherwise, you'll never know how you caught the fish. Please follow, save, and like. Daily updates. Thank you, fellow anglers. Author profile: I'm a self-media blogger who loves fishing and enjoys sharing. Follow me to exchange fishing tips and discuss every detail of wild fishing. Like, save, and follow to never miss the next update.